starts. Duncan Tolhurst is right there with them. Paul Whitelam is up in there in third place. So as they go round that first turn, Duncan Tolhurst looking to try and get past Alan Lewis. But both of them okay. As we look to see him go into that top bend, Alan and John Blewitt looking to have a go once again at Duncan Tolhurst. Drives through on the inside again. He's done it, Dave Steer's come through on him. So Dave Steer now getting in on the action as he closes right up on the back wheel of Alan and John Blewitt. So Duncan Tolhurst must have wondered where Dave Steer was coming from, but Alan and John Blewitt. Looks for the gap on the inside. Drives hard into this top bend. It's one more lap to go. And Duncan Tolhurst must wonder what he's got to do to try and get past these two. Dave Steer closes right up on Alan. Tremendous tactics, and Alan and John Blewitt knew he was there, knew what he'd done. Terrific ride from Alan and John Blewitt.
They are a class act as well, coming out of gate 5 here. So, lots to sort out here in race 15. Start from Paul Whitelam off of gate 5. Trevor Heath's gone after him, but it's Paul Whitelam that leads into the first turn ahead of Trevor Heath. Michael Austin's got himself in third, but he's drifted wide in the middle of the corner, but it's Paul Whitelam, Trevor Heath. Paul Whitelam's been forced to go into this pit corner much harder than he'd like to. He's gone very wide. Trevor Heath's seen him go out there. Whitelam's quick, but Trevor Heath is much tighter, and Heath comes past Paul Whitelam going into this turn. So, Paul Whitelam now switches up the inside and Whitelam goes back past Trevor Heath. Back into this pit corner, Paul Whitelam is much more cautious going in there this time. We know that Trevor Heath can ride this inside line fast. He's once again tucked up the inside. But this time Paul Whitelam has got himself away. Trevor and Sam Heath in that second place, they'll need to look at where Paul Whitelam's riding. Look at those guys. Once again down that back street. He has run wide. Trevor Heath's there to pounce once again. He's up the inside. They're completely together as they go past us. Now Trevor Heath leads into the turn. This is absolutely brilliant cycle racing as Trevor Heath now pushes Paul Whitelam wide. And it's Trevor Heath who now leads. One more turn to go as they come into this fantastic cycle race. Into this turn they go. Amazing, tremendous victory for Trevor and Sam Heath. A brilliant ride by them. Paul Whitelam finishes second, Michael Austin finishes in third, Stacey Starr fourth, Dan Berg fifth, but what a battle between Trevor and Sam Heath and Paul Whitelam and Richard Webb. Give them a round of applause as they come past. Fabulous racing from those two.
Now they come into line. As they start to line up, we'll see the tapes go in a very few moments, and away we'll go. And as we go, you can see it's the middle of the gate that's again been the better of the starting positions at Rustling. From the inside, looks to have got the best of it. Ken Lane just in front of him, and Gary Jackson has gone right the way around the outside. Oh, a tremendous first bend for Gary Jackson, but hasn't gone too wide. He's gone a long, long way round. Ken Lane has got in front of him, but Gary Jackson really has got the power on. Rustling tries to tuck in on the inside. If Ken Lane had left the gap, Rustling would have been through it, but it is Ken Lane and Mark Edwards that have got away. But look at the speed of Gary Jackson. He really is taking a much, much wider circuit than anybody else, but he really is keeping that power on all the time. Again, he's gone tremendously wide. Ken Lane forcing him to go even wider still. Ken Lane knows that Gary likes going around the outside, and that's the mistake you can make. Rustling can get through on the inside if you do push too hard wide. As it closes up in the middle of that bend, you see him go up the back straight. This is exactly what can happen. Gary Jackson trying to go around the outside of Ken Lane. Ken Lane forcing him to go even wider than he wants to, but Rustling has moved through in the gaps that have been left. He gets through in the second place. Tremendous scrap between these front three. Still Ken Lane leads. Rustling now closing up on Ken Lane and also getting in on the action. You can see in fourth place Steve Dewison. Ken Lane has gone almost sideways getting in that bend though. He looks as if he missed a gear or perhaps tried to brake very hard, but he locked it up, and Rustling has now got extremely close to Ken Lane. The collection flag is out and Ken Lane takes it. Rustling, I think, just hang on to second place. Gary Jackson crosses the line in third. What tremendous sidecar racing. All three of those outfits doing extremely well, and Ken Lane, of course, hanging on and getting that checkered flag.
Ken Hicks and John Peters, they come to the line in grid 2. Nick from Roller and Chris Spires in grid 3. Steve Dewison, Keith Wall in grid 4. Alan and John Blewitt grid 5. Jerry Adams and Sean Pittock in grid 6. So interesting perhaps that we've seen the better gate so far come from the inside of the circuit. Rustling of course made a very good start from the inside in his first race. Ivor Matthews though was probably going to say that I'm wrong saying that, because he was in grid 5. Martin Baker made a good start from grid 5. Roger Misa, he was on the inside. Oh, watch to see what happens in race 7. Ready there on the start line. Anxious eyes looking at that starting tape. The starter not quite happy with the lineup at the moment. Pulls one or two riders back. Now they look as if they're ready. The tapes go up and away we go for race 7 in your programme. The last of the first leg, and it's Alan and John Blewitt that get to the front. Oh, Jerry Adams is up there in second place, and Steve Dewison up in the third at the moment. Benji's going after him. Alan and John Blewitt, they're really powering the pace on. They go into that pit bend with quite a gap on Jerry Adams in second place. Steve Dewison still there in third place, but looking to come through on the inside of Jerry Adams. Steve Dewison letting Jerry Adams know he's there and goes through the gap into that top end. So Dewison up in the second place at the moment. Jerry Adams still there in third. Going after Jerry Adams as well. But Alan and John Blewitt are going to take some catching. They really have got that motor on. They've had some very big wins already this season. You might remember back to the bank holiday, that superb North Park circuit. They won the Barks Bonanza. They had a good ride up at the first round of the Masters. And now throwing in the gap on Alan and John Blewitt. Well, interesting to watch where Steve Dewison gets quicker. This is where he seems to be a lot quicker. He's coming out of that pit bend, going down this finishing straight and into that top bend. He's gone for a wider line into that top bend and now closes to come back underneath. As you can see, he's starting to go after Alan and John Blewitt. No mistakes about this last corner. The checker flag will be there for them. As we see them, he's forced Steve Dewison to go wide. It looks like a brave effort from Steve Dewison. Wow! He powered to the line. That was indeed very, very close on the line. He certainly had that motor turned on.
So in this one we've got Ivor Matthews already with 11 points under his belt, and as they get off the line, charge to the first turn. Who's it going to be into the turn first? Does look like Joe Mogg leading, but is he going to be leading as they come off the turn? Let's see, Joe Mogg. Terry Phillips comes through in the second spot. Ivor Matthews through in the third spot. And Tim Bennett there in fourth. So the order is still very much the same as they go down the back straight. Craig Cheatham getting tailed off just a little bit, which is surprising because he's been going very quickly this afternoon. But Terry Phillips, the veteran, trying to come around the outside. Yeah, I say that. Joe Mogg, and so is Ivor Matthews. So it is still those three. A pocket handkerchief would cover all three. Joe Mogg leads as they go down the back straight. Ivor Matthews in second. Terry Phillips just losing a few meters as they go down the back straight. And Tim Bennett still there in fourth place. Well, Ivan putting the pressure on Joe Mogg really having a super ride. Mogg, Matthews and Phillips, that's the 1, 2, 3, and any one of those three could lead, but as they come off the bend, Ivor and Joe Mogg get very, very close. They may have even touched, but Joe Mogg is leading as they go into the last turn. But I'm sure Ivor's going to try and come up the inside if Joe goes wide. Joe does go wide. Ivor shines. By a whisker. Ivor Matthews second. Terry Phillips third. And in fourth place, it was Craig Cheetham. And in fifth place was Tim Bennett.
Well, away we go with the last of the qualifying races. This to find out who goes in the final. John Hiscock, knowing that he's got to score well to be sure of a place in the final. And mathematically, I'm sure he's done all the working out in the pits before he come out. As he goes up that back straight, leading from Dave Steer. You remember that terrific race these two had earlier on today. We wonder if it's going to be repeated because Dave Steer is holding that helmet. Both his bends. It's coming out of this bottom bend that he seems to be quicker. He gets the drive on much quicker than most of the other outfits going up that back straight. John Hiscock and Tony Bemister, though, holding some good lines this time. They look to have got quicker as the afternoon's gone on. They got close again. This is where they get the advantage going up that back straight. Then letting John Hiscock know that they're there. They'll be looking for a way through. Watch how tight that Dave Steer holds it coming out of this top bend. John Hiscock drifts out slightly, but Dave Steer that time wasn't close enough to take advantage of it. Into the right bend they go. Quickly trying to work out what this means in overall points at the moment, but I think it means automatic qualification for John Hiscock, as if they stay like this. Tony Bemister looking over his shoulder. He knows that Dave Steer's there. He's coming through on the inside. It's going to be close. Oh, he's doing a terrific last bend from Dave Steer. Well, I don't know what the lap scorers are going to make of that one. We wait for the judge that's sitting spot on the line, because from where I was looking, that was so close.